Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa man wala. Thank you everyone for being here. It's a simple, family-friendly, flexible gathering, right? A faithful gathering, alhamdulillah. And we all are here to honor Steve, his family, and also Sister Angie and her family and her son, who are here this evening to confirm the journey that they started a long time ago, but they were waiting for opportunity to confirm and to declare their determination and their dedication to God, and to go through such a peaceful and friendly transition tonight, that they are going to join the family of Islam, the family of Islamic faith, and that is wonderful. So I say a few words and then we like to hear Steve and Sister Angie also to share with us their feelings and whatever in their hearts and their minds. You know, in Islam we don't have the system of baptize. It's very simple to become Muslim. Expression of two sentences. The first word and the first sentence, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, that I testify that there is no divine but one God, Allah. In Arabic we say Allah, in English we say God. And I testify that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a servant and messenger of God. So this is the actually transition and transformation and traveling from one area to another area is a spiritual journey. And Islam means total submission. This religion was not established by Prophet Muhammad, by the way. It was established by Prophet Abraham. And the Quran says that Abraham sammakum Muslimin. He is the one who chose this name of Muslims for you. And his religion was al-Islam, because he was about absolute submission to the will of God. You know, sometimes Jews and Muslims, they argue about, you know, which son of Abraham was sacrificed, or Abraham decided to sacrifice, whether in the Muslim tradition it is Ishmael, in the Jewish tradition Ishaq, Isaac. But in reality, this is not the main point. It's not about whether it was Ismail or Ishaq. The main point was the submission of Abraham that he was willing to sacrifice his son. Doesn't matter, this son or that son, both are his sons. He wanted to teach us the meaning of Islam, the meaning of submission. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the last one. But he is part of this family that Abraham established. And the Quran is about Abraham, and then Moses, and then Jesus, and finally Muhammad, peace be upon them all. You know, a lot of people, non-Muslims, don't know that Abraham is honored in the Quran, and his story is mentioned 69 times. The story of Moses is all over the Quran. Almost half of the Quran is talking about Moses and his struggle. 136 times the name of Moses, Prophet Moses, is mentioned in the Quran. When we come to Jesus and Mary, Virgin Mary, they are mentioned almost 70 times. 70 times. And you're surprised how many times Prophet Muhammad himself is mentioned in the Quran. Only 5 times. 5 times, of course, he is mentioned as a messenger, as a prophet many, many times. But by name, only 5 times. So it's about interfaith family. But Prophet Muhammad came to complete this covenant and this mission. That means that when Moses came after Abraham, everybody were supposed to follow Moses. When Jesus came, everyone had to follow Jesus. When Prophet Muhammad came, everyone was supposed to follow this final ambassador of God on this earth. Something about Prophet Muhammad, by the way, this coming week is the week of his birth. It's close to Christmas this time, that the birth of Prophet Muhammad, the birth of Jesus, is the same month. But something about Prophet Muhammad is 63 years of very clear history. Among all the prophets, no one like Prophet Muhammad. His history and life is very, very clear and known. Because he was among the people for the entire 63 years. So everybody knew about his birth, about his marriage, about his childhood, about his youth, about the time that he received revelation in the Mount of Light in Mecca, about the time that he migrated from Mecca to Medina, about the time that he did his Mi'raj, that ascension, spiritual journey in one night from Mecca to Jerusalem and back to Mecca the same night. Even by airplane now it's tough to make it one night trip, go and come back, and then spiritually ascension to the heavens. Everybody knew about all these details of his life and about his struggle. And 83 times that they attacked Prophet, the pagans, they did not leave him alone. Even after he was forced to flee his birthplace to Medina, they were every month a military attack on the Prophet and this new community of the faithful. And finally, even when he passed away, his grave is there. Everybody knows that he died in his house and he was buried next door inside the masjid. There is no any other prophets that we know for sure even where is their grave. I mean, we know about Prophet Abraham. There is a mosque in Hebron, in Al-Khalil, in Palestine, that is known for being the grave of Nabi Ibrahim. It's been said, but no one said 100% for sure. Even about the grave of Moses in east of Jerusalem, there is a place that this is a grave of Moses, but still no one says 100%. The only messenger that even his grave is known for everyone is Prophet Muhammad. And his life, a life of faith, that even the pagans, they used to say, As-Sadiq al-Amin. He is truthful and he is trustworthy. These two titles of being honest and trustworthy. In addition to his patience, to his compassion, to his kindness, to his mercy, to his justice, to his care for community and humanity. Everybody knew this about Prophet Muhammad. And also his fight against greed and selfishness and injustice and arrogance and ignorance. The entire life is fight against these evil qualities. So when we are talking about Prophet Islam is the last messenger who came to complete this mission. Unfortunately, Prophet Muhammad is not known, is not understood, and is not appreciated fairly in this part of the world. A lot of people don't know, and this is why you hear all this insult and attack and hatred against Prophet Muhammad because of ignorance. Obviously, the Prophet Muhammad is not only unappreciated by non-Muslim, but when you see in the Muslim world this extremism and radicalism of a minority among the Muslims who do not speak for this faith and who do not represent this faith, but they are talking and they are committing crime in the name of God day and night, they brought fuel to the fire of Islamophobia, and they made it more difficult for us. And this is why, you know, Hannah, the night that I was just last week, and one of the questions about women, and you don't have time to talk about women in Islam. First of all, let us talk about women in America. I mean, till like 100 years ago, women in this country, they could not even vote, right? And now this time that they could vote and they could elect, and they, you know, voted for a woman, and they gave even more vote to this woman, and still she couldn't go there. She couldn't go through, right? So let us talk about even women in America, all news every day in the army, university, on the street, about rape, about sexual assault and sexual harassment and all of this. So before we are too much talking about, you know, what's going on in Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia, we condemn that. But don't forget that the women are not receiving justice even in this country. Well, when you go to Islam and Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago, he said the time of Jahiliyyah, that people were so ignorant that they used to bury their baby girls alive. At that time he said, Khayrul walad al-bint. The best children are the girls. They are the best, he said. He said, they are kinder and softer and more caring and more sensitive. And he said, the Prophet at that time, he said, even the heaven is under the feet of the mother. Isn't it amazing? That al-jannatu tahta aqdam al-ummahat. And when somebody goes to Prophet Muhammad and says that, who deserves my maximum kindness and attention? He said, Ummak, your mom. And the guy asked, who else? Next. He said, Ummak, your mom. Ya Rasulallah, next. Who after? Ummak, for the third time. He said, she deserves your maximum kindness. Then he says, who else? For the fourth time, he said, Abaka, your dad. You see, who are those people who are saying that the women are not treated right in Islam? Now, if there are some cultural problem and corruption in Saudi Arabia, that they don't let the woman to drive, or that is their problem. They don't represent Islam. I told this guy Tuesday night, I said that their Sharia is not Sharia of Allah. That is Sharia of ISIS and Sharia of Al-Qaeda, has nothing to do with Sharia of Allah. We are talking about God's Sharia, Islamic Sharia, not the Saudi Sharia. So whatever they do with the woman has nothing to do with Islam. That is their culture, that is their mentality. So when they talk about women's right in Islam, it's very obvious. When they talk about human rights in Islam, my goodness, the first man who said, Inna akramakum inda Allah atqakum. Absolutely everyone, he said that kullukum min Adam, all of you are children of Adam, and Adam was from the dirt, from the earth, from the soil, and there is no priority and superiority over Arab or Ajam or white or black, except with your piety. He said nobody is more important than anybody. Black and white and yellow and whatever the color, whatever the nationality, whatever the language, whatever the race. He said only in the eyes of God, those who are more pious. So that is human rights. That he said if one person's life was attacked, it is attack on the entire humanity. Wow. If somebody violated the life of one individual, one person, it's a violation against the life of the entire people of the planet. This is the Quran. Now if somebody doesn't care about it, if ISIS don't care about this, because they don't represent this faith, they have nothing to do with the faith of Prophet Muhammad. This is the faith that says the only people that you would fight are the one who was fighting you. And the moment they stop, you stop. And even if you are fighting with them, don't bother the kids, don't bother the women, don't bother the elderly, don't even cut their trees. What are we talking about? Human rights and women's rights. You are talking about the prophet of morality. You know, a prophet of morality that in his personal life, you know, is a smiling man. No, they show like Prophet Muhammad in the, you know, the caricature that like he was angry all the time and he was like so mean. The Prophet Muhammad was smiling in his talking when he sees anybody. He says, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, even the kids. And everybody tries to be smart, said, this time I'm going to say it earlier, so the Prophet is not going to be ahead of me. And every time everybody failed. Because he was always the first one to say salam to everyone. Peace be upon you, to everyone. And when he shakes hand, he keeps the hand of the other, you know, man that he's shaking hand. He doesn't withdraw his hand till the other person started, you know, losing it and, you know, withdrawing his hand. In his relationship with God, with his family, I mean, despite of all these struggles that the Prophet has, still he spends time and dedicates some time to his family, to his neighbor. He said, Wallah, La yu'minu billah. I swear by God, somebody is not mu'min. I swear by God, somebody is not mu'min. I swear by God, somebody is not. They were shocked. They said, what the Prophet is talking about? Who is that? He says, Wallahi, ma amana billah, ma amana billah, ma amana billah. Who is that? That has no faith in God? And he said 3 times. He said, Ya Rasulullah, what are you talking about? Who is that? Who is the one who doesn't have faith in God? He said, the person who have his dinner or her dinner and full and satisfied, while somebody in his neighborhood is hungry. This person has no faith in God. Wow. Well, that non-Muslim lady used to put garbage in front of the house of the Prophet every day. And one day, she was sick, she didn't do it. The Prophet said, what happened today? Nobody put the garbage there today in front of my house. And they said, Ya Rasulullah, this lady is sick today. And he went to visit that lady, knocked the door, and she was shocked. She thought that the Prophet came to retaliate. This is akhlaq of the Prophet. And one of the secrets of the success of the Prophet is this manner, this character. So I would say to Steve and Sister Angie that I already told you that you are really rewarded. The time that you are coming to us and you declare your faith in Islam without anybody forcing you. Because they say Islam is religion of sword. Did anybody put sword on Steve or anybody put sword? Nobody has that much courage. Steve is going to put sword on anybody before anybody can put sword on Steve. Nobody has that guts to go to Steve, right? He is stronger than anybody, so nobody can threat Steve. No way. And Sister Angie, the same thing. So there is no sword on anybody because Quran says la ikraha fi din. There is no compulsion in religion. It's not acceptable. But the fact that both of you chose this time that Islam is under fire, this faith is under fire, and this insanity of Islamophobia, like a tsunami, is going all over. You chose to say yes to your Lord and submit your soul to Allah the way that Abraham did and Moses and Jesus and Muhammad did. And you confirm that you want to be part of this family that started from Abraham but then ended in Prophet Muhammad. You recognize that Muhammad was messenger of God. And you decided to say it, and inshallah we will practice it, because then it's about salat. Prophet Muhammad introduced 4 main elements of worship. One is salat, the daily prayer, and salat in Arabic from sila means connection. That 5 times a day we stop to connect to our Creator and asking Him, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Oh God, please guide us to the sirat al-mustaqim, means the straight path, a balanced one. That means 10 times a day we say, oh God, we don't want to be radical. We don't want to be extremist. We want to be a straight path. Isn't it amazing? That the only thing that we say 10 times a day, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, is asking God for a straight path, a balanced path, a fair path, not radicalism. So those who say Islamic radical or radical Islam, that is not Islam. If it is radical, so it's not Islam. If it is extremist, then it is not Islam. You choose either Islam or extremism, not both of them. So they are not. So there are some people who are extremists, they claim they are Muslims. They are extremists, they claim they are Christians. They are extremists, they claim they are Jewish, and you know how many radical Jewish burn the babies and do horrible things. So they have nothing to do with those prophets. Somebody said, Ya Rasulullah, tell me, I want to become Muslim. What should I say? The Prophet said, say, I have belief in God, I believe in God, and then be balanced. That's it. He said, that's it, yeah, balanced. Straight path, fastaqim. Straight path, a balanced way. So that is the salat that we ask for, being a balanced and fair 10 times in our daily prayer. And then our fasting, that's another, when you pray, you connect with God. But then right after the prayer, as zakat, charity, that's connection with people. And then as siyam, that is both fasting, is connection with God and also connection with people, because we experience the hunger and suffering of poverty, to think about those who don't have. And Hajj, pilgrimage, is a combination of prayer and charity and kindness and unity and piety. So I want to say congratulations to both of you for coming tonight and acknowledging the path of Prophet Muhammad. So I like to have both Brother Steve and Sister Angie to come and say the Shahada, بعد الصلاة على محمد وعلى محمد. And we are going to say it first in Arabic and then in English. Who's going to say it? Ladies first, or who's going to say it? So you would, I know, just, I said word by word and then you follow me. Everybody is ready? Everybody is ready? Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I testify that there is no God but one, Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad was God's servant and messenger. Congratulations. We welcome Sister Angie to the faith of Islam. So guys, you memorize it. You don't need word by word. Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I testify that there is no God but one, Allah. And I testify that Muhammad was the messenger and servant of God. Thank you. Congratulations to Brother Steve and Mabruk.
He handed me a microphone. I'll be quick. Doesn't she look like a Muslim now? No, I just wanted to say a couple of quick words. First of all, I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, just for Imam Ilahi and the family and everybody here at the Islamic House of Wisdom, just for opening. They've always opened the doors to us. They've always said, hey, come and join us and hang out and have dinner and have communion, because that's what we've been doing for a couple of years now in different ways. Some of you I know, some of you I adore and love deeply, some of you I'm just getting to know. I saw your hand right there. My sister. It's been an amazing journey, and I'll just be honest with you, my heart is just to continue to connect with everybody and hopefully be of some kind of assistance when it comes to bridging that gap between the non-Muslim and the Muslim community so that people can understand that we are people and that we are not different from one another, and that our love for God is that commonality between us all, and it's the same passionate love for God, and that's not going to go away. You know, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. I have already. I will continue to. You know, and I'm not from Dearborn, if you haven't guessed yet. You know, so, you know, I know like what, Alhamdulillah and Subhanallah and Wallah.
La ilaha illallah, wallahu
I got this four. Okay. You know, it's funny sometimes that I'm in Dearborn, and you know, everybody, these are cultural things that are amazing. You know, everybody has their way. You know, when you walk by and everybody gives you the greeting, and I'm still, look, I'm from California, and I'm still like, oh hi, what's up? You know, that's how I greet people, because that's where I come from.
Don't forget,
You know, bro. My goal is to take whatever gifts God has given me and whatever lessons I'm learning along the way and to share them with you all as family. And vice versa, because you're all my teachers. This journey has been amazing over the last couple of years. I've learned so much from everybody. Yeah, I've done a lot of reading. Yeah, I've done a lot of study. But meeting with people and sitting down face to face and having dinners and having real conversations and serving the community together and all those types of things, that's where I found the heart of this faith. That's where I saw the truth. And that's what convicted my heart. And one closing thing one point I want to make before I leave is that, you know, there are some people who have misunderstood the conversion that I've made, and they think that I've walked away from Jesus, or I've walked away from Christianity, or I've rejected my former life. That's not how it works. That's not how the situation has been for me. It is a continuation. That is how I feel. That is how I saw it. It's a continuation. And I've just felt in my heart for a couple of years now that God was leading me forward and giving me that whisper, and just, this is where I want you now. I need you to walk this path. So all I'm trying to do is be obedient, and I'm really thankful and excited about it. And let's see what he has. And hopefully, you know what, we're going to do it together. This is an important time. This is a divided world, and we've got a lot of mountains to climb together. We've got to do it together. So anyways, thank you, everybody. Love you guys.
Sister Angie is a sister, a mom, a wonderful community member, and wonderful Muslim now, that we welcome you to our family and community of faith. If you'd like to say anything, please.
Well, he talked way too long,
Sorry.
so I'm just going to say, Steven. So I'm just going to say thank you all for coming and for being a part of my journey. I want to say thank you to my son for always sticking by me and trying to teach me some Arabic and saying, no mom, that's not how you pronounce that. So I thank him. I thank Haidar Dora back there for the times that I called him while he was in the truck driving, and I said, how do I pronounce this? How do I pray? I thank God for teaching me to pray. And I thank all of you, so many of you, Sister Rehab, for being my friend. Thank you all for coming in and sharing this with me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So hopefully through Brother Steve and Sister Angie, we can really have a stronger outreach from House of Wisdom. Since now they both are familiar with the society, with the country, with the culture here, and now their Islamic experience, I think they are great assets for us. So we can offer this platform that this is your house, and inshallah, everybody's prayer, we make this platform powerful and purposeful to communicate to non-Muslims. We don't want to force them to become Muslim. We just recognize whether they are Jewish or Christian or any faith traditions, but have understanding and have respect for one another and appreciate that there are so many similarities, as Brother Steve said. And the Prophet Muhammad said that there was a building, but there was like just one piece that it lacked it. And I just came to complete that beautiful building of belief that was, founded from Nabi Abraham, and now you have the new version. As the computer, once in a while the computer has new version. Now you got the final version of this computer updated now in the faith, that inshallah you are going to be the spokespeople of our community to the other community. By the way, we are going to have 400 or 500 students, non-Muslim students, in January. We are going to have a conference for them the entire day. And Angie and Steve, they can help us, to communicate this message on the day of the conference. Anybody would like to share any word? Dr. Fuad, Hajj Mohammad, anyone? Or Brother Ali, if you want to say any words. Fuad, you want to say a word? And we are going to have a group photo together. So this is a historic night, right? Very, very historic. Dr. Kamal, you have something to say? If you want to go to Hajj al-Rahab.
Assalamu alaikum. Congratulations to Brother Steven and Sister Angie. I just have 2 points. One of them is, I believe that pure state that you can be is to become a Muslim. But a Muslim without following the guidance of Ahlul Bayt can be a dangerous path. Ahlul Bayt is like the Ark of Noah. Without it, you can be misguided, you can go and become ISIS. So many good Muslims were misguided and they were brainwashed to follow ISIS. So if you're with Ahlul Bayt, if you know more about Ahlul Bayt, about Sayyida Fatima, Sayyida Zainab, these are like real role models for anyone. If they want to know about good role models, these are the real models. This is one thing. The other thing you mentioned, that you're not leaving your background, you're not leaving your Christianity. I believe I'm a Christian. And I believe there are so many Christians out there who have more Islam and more faith in them than so many Muslims. And the thing that stands between them and reaching this purity, this state of purity, is unfortunately propaganda and how some Muslims act and conduct themselves. That's what stands between most people. This is the faith to humanity. This is God's message. This is the most refined message. If you read the Quran and understand the Quran, I do not know how someone cannot believe it. But because people are not, there's a block between people and getting to this message and to know this message. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Fuad. Anyone else would like to? And yes, you and Hajj Rahab, maybe and Rahab Amir or anyone would like to make it short. Don't follow me, that's
One thing that I'd like to address is Steven and Angie, when we met you, and I say we as the bridge in the community, we fell in love with you before you even uttered that you were Muslims. And we accepted you as people of the book. And it didn't matter which book it was. Through your journey and our journey of getting to know one another, we have become a community in faith and strength. You guys are such a blessing and such an asset to the faiths and the communities. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.